Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me at Our Worship Sound. My name is Peter, and we're here to make worship keyboard technique and technology easier. One of the things that frustrates me as a teacher is seeing students and musicians always taking the quickest route to something and taking all sorts of shortcuts that help you learn what you're trying to learn really quickly, but doesn't build into your long-term development. And right now, you might have a little bit of extra time to devote to some things and some extra attention to give. And so I want to help give you three things you can do with a new song that are not just going to help you learn the new song really well, but build into your long-term development as a musician. So here are three things that I've used to build my lifelong skills as a piano player and will help you as well. So we're going to look at this progression, and I'll play through it really quickly. So the first line is from chorus, and the second line is from the bridge of that song. But the first thing that you want to do with any new song is to clearly identify what key you're playing in. And I spent a whole video talking about this. And so if this is not something that you're comfortable doing right now, I want to encourage you to stop playing this video and go to the video that I've linked in the description about how to clearly identify the song or the key of the song that you're trying to play in, because it's going to help you a lot. So if you're not familiar with it, a really quick overview is we're going to be referencing something that I call the Music Theory Guidebook, and it's something that I've made available for free. If you go to ourworshipsound.com/music theory, you can download this guidebook, get that quickly, and it's going to be free. One of the things that is in there is something I call a chord reference sheet. So one of the things you can do to figure out the key of a song is take all the chords in your progression, and you're going to compare it to this chart, and you're going to find out which row of this chart has all the chords that you're talking about. And it might be that there might be a chord or two that's outside of the key that you're playing in. But what you can do is if you plug in all these chords, D flat, B flat minor, A flat, all these, you're going to find that there's only one row in this chart that has all of them, and that's A flat. So this, one of the biggest clues is that this song is in A flat major. And when you identify the key, we're going to begin to process everything about this song in terms of that key and keep coming back to that concept of playing in A flat major. The second thing that you want to do as you're playing a new song and learning a new song is to play through the scale, and you're going to identify what the chords are in terms of their number, not just the name, but in terms of their number. So the couple of steps to this. First of all, is to figure out the scale. Remember, we're playing in the key of A flat. So we're going to look at another page on this Music Theory Guidebook, and we're going to find how to build the A flat major scale. And I have another video on how to put scales together that'll help you. You can watch that too, and I'll link that as well. Basically, any scale is going to start on a particular note and then go up the musical alphabet. So if it starts on some kind of A, it's going to be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. If it starts on D, it's going to be D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. Okay, but it always goes according to the musical alphabet. There's only one kind of each letter, and then we just have to apply what we call the key signature. So for A flat, we can look at this and know that we have 4 flats in the key of A flat. So I'm not just going to play A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. I'm going to make 4 of those notes flat. And which 4 we're going to make flat? It's going to be the first 4 in the order of flats: B, E, A, and D. I'm going through this really quickly because I have another video that you can watch, but I'm just kind of recapping that really quick. So A is going to be flat, B is going to be flat. Then we have C, D is flat, E is flat, F, G, and A flat. So once again, the A flat major scale is A flat, B flat, C, D flat, E flat, F, G, A flat. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our chord progression, and we're going to begin to assign a number to the chord based on the note of the scale that it's built upon. So for example, D flat is the 4th note of the scale. So we're going to think of this as the 4 chord. B flat minor is built on the 2nd note. So we're going to think of this as the 2 chord. A flat is obviously built on the first note of the scale, so it's the 1 chord, and then F minor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. F is the 6th note, so F minor is the 6th chord. So what we're trying to get to the point is we're not just thinking this as D flat, B flat minor 7, A flat, and F minor. We're gonna get to what we see pictured here, where we're playing the 4 chord, the 2 chord, the 1 chord, and the 6 chord. That will give you some major advantages. Okay, one of them is you're gonna begin to be able to play by ear. You're gonna be able to listen to a song, and you might not know exactly which chord it is, but you'll be able to hear that it's the 4 chord within the key, or the 5 chord, or the 6 chord, and you'll begin to play chord progressions based on just what you're hearing. Another thing that helps you do is to transpose. So I can play the 4, 2, 1, 6 progression in A flat, but if I'm playing with somebody who's singing it and needs to be just a little bit lower, I can easily translate that to the 4 chord in G major, the 2 minor chord, the 1 chord, and the 6 chord in a different key. It really helps with that. It also helps you with building your own chord progressions, so you know what chords sound like and you go to them easily. So begin to think of your chord progressions, not just in terms of the actual chords, but in terms of the chord number based on the scale. So identify the key, identify the scale, figure out which notes of the scale your chords are built upon, and that'll give you some really big connections and really help you to build into your long-term development as a musician. The last thing I want to talk about in this video is when you're learning a new song, play through all of the inversions for the chord progressions. So you can play D flat this way, or you can play it with a D flat on top in first position, or you can play it with a D flat in the middle in second inversion. So learning to play it in each position is going to give you a lot more flexibility as you play. Oftentimes when we encounter a chord that we're not as familiar with, we learn it one way, but then we have to build our whole progression around that one way of playing that one chord, or we're jumping around to get to that one spot. It's really limiting. So get to the point where you've got all these different inversions under your fingers a little bit, and that gives you a lot more flexibility as to how you play it. When you're playing this notes with upward extensions, learn those too. So B flat minor 7 is these 4 notes. So there are 4 different ways that we can play this chord. This way, each of those 4 ways, okay? So begin to get all those different inversions under your fingers. Same thing with E flat sus 4, which is played like this in root position. Move the E flat up top, and then put the E flat in the middle. And this is a really cool sounding inversion that you want to be able to use in your progressions. So identify the key, learn the scale, start thinking of your chords in terms of the scale notes, and then really get on top of all the different inversions so you have as much flexibility in how you play this chord progression. And so those are 3 things I would recommend that you do every time you learn a new song. And it'll take a little bit extra time and a little bit more attention, but in the long term, it's gonna help you build so many connections as to how you approach other songs. And in the long run, it's gonna save you tons of time and help you be a much better piano player. I'm gonna have some more tips coming up in a video soon, so, like 4 more things that you can do with a new song. But until then, watch those other videos. If you don't have the music theory guidebook, again, you can get that at OurWorshipSound.com/music theory. You can be up and rolling with that in just a few seconds if you do that. And that'll help you along the way. So I hope that's helpful to you. Let me know if there's anything else I can do for you. Leave a comment below. Click subscribe for notifications on future videos as they come up. And just let me know if you have any questions, if there's anything I can do to help. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you soon.